Everybody get ready. It's Women Empowerment Wednesday on the Own Your Now show. Let's go, Lady Yo.
Unstoppable.
Say I am unstoppable. Let me hear you say I am unstoppable. And let the horns play. Hey. Oh yeah. I heard that I would fail. Then I heard you won't prevail. Then I've heard all the things that I can't do. And then you strength.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It's time for the Own Your Now show. It's Women Empowerment Wednesday. And I am your host, Tracy Berry McGee, also known as Divine T.
And I'm your co-host, Yolanda Langford, and you know what they call me, Lady Yo.
I'm your co-host, Justice Key with Peace in the Streets.
And I'm your co-host, Shameen Clark Hubbard, better known as Mimi.
Mimi, everybody, and we are
The Cup! My favorite day, my favorite day.
Yes, I am really excited about today because we are here at the Missouri Historical Society and we have so much tea and coffee for you all to sip on. But first, let's get our day started. Lady Yo, what you sipping on?
Well, first I want to say our show has been sponsored by the Conley Financial Group, where they offer holistic insurance solutions for your business and personal benefit challenges. And you know, sometimes we do have some challenges.
Yes,
so
we do.
Conley Financial is there for you. You know what I'm sipping on today? House blend, because you know when I see all of us together, we're the house.
Yes, we are. Well, you know what? I always tell you all, I like my coffee black. I'm drinking the dark roast, no sugar, no cream. What about you, Justice Key?
I am sipping on some fire pot tea, and it is so good. Makes me feel good this morning. What you sipping on, Mimi?
I'm over here. I'm in the house with Lady Yo. I'm drinking house blend with a little cream, a little sugar. I know y'all like y'all stuff, but you know I always have close by my side my STL water, STL ice.
Yes,
Shout
ma'am.
out to my cute cup from We Power. Thank you, We Power.
What does this say? So
It says
Shabby.
Shameen.
You know.
I love it.
You better
I love
know it. Look, go sis. So we are at the Missouri Historical Society. This is our third day here, and we have really learned so much about history. I gotta ask you guys, what is your favorite experience? We'll start with you, Lady O. What's your favorite experience?
Well, you know, I love all of the exhibits. I love seeing the exhibits and learning the history, because the thing about being here is you learn things that are not necessarily in the history book.
That's right. That's
Absolutely.
right. And they always have so many different exhibits.
Yes.
And the thing about it is, I love that we've been focusing on women empowerment.
Yes.
That's my thing. That's my thing. What about you, Justice?
One of my favorite things about the History Museum, of course, like Yolanda said, is the exhibits, because we learn stuff that we don't get a chance to learn in school, but also bringing our girls out from Sister Keeper to
Yes.
always experience and have a great time here at the History Museum. So
Yes.
I think that's really cool to be able to ride by and know that you had an event there, you was there having a good time.
Yes.
You know, it brings back
Well,
memories.
honey, it means you were part of history.
Yeah.
And Shameen, do you remember when we were here and all the girls were like, I want to go into the museum. I want to go inside.
Yes. The little girls, they was like, when we going inside? When we going inside?
And that's so cool.
Yeah.
We literally were on the stage here. We've been outdoors. Shout out to the Missouri Historical Society for
Absolutely.
being community.
Yes.
What's your favorite part, Mimi?
You know, my favorite part, again, coming here with the kids, people don't know this, but I'm like a nerd about history. I love history. I love learning about it. I love the exhibit they did, the history of Black civil rights in the city of St. Louis. That was an amazing one. But right now, I love the history that we made at the Cafe Pure, with Pure Catering being the first Black catering company
Yes.
to take over to
Yes.
manage the cafe and the History Museum. So, and shout out because they are in a new 26. But
That's
we
right.
share them,
Yes.
share them with the History Museum.
Well,
No, but I
thank
love
you
it.
for sharing,
I love
Shameen.
it.
We
Yes.
all love, every time we get a chance to go
We go
to
right
the cafe,
upstairs.
we go right upstairs.
Yes, we
and
go
when I
right
tell you
upstairs.
the food is delicious and the
Amazing.
service is
Everything.
amazing.
The food,
Everything.
the service,
Yes.
it's
Shout
just
out.
And looking
100.
at those beautiful windows.
Yes.
So I know they're here every day, Monday Monday through Friday. They have the weekend brunch as well. We've
Yes.
all
Brunch.
experienced the brunch,
Yes.
the brunch and the jazz. But yes, the
Yes.
food. I'm all about the food, but you know I'm about the desserts and the
Oh,
The
absolutely.
desserts and the bottomless mimosa.
Yes.
Oh, don't
look at
forget
us.
that. Don't
Y'all
forget
see
that.
what happens when we start talking about food.
Yes.
Let's talk about food for thought. I tell you, the one thing that we know for sure is we're going to get some food for thought
Yes.
today. Literally, we have Emily Underwood, she's the Community Initiative Specialist, and we have Cecily Hunter, she's the Public Historian. And when we return, get ready for the Own Your Now Cup of Affirmation. It's sponsored by Caldy's Coffee.
I'm Cecily Hunter, Public Historian of the African American History Initiative at the Missouri Historical Society.
And I'm Emily Underwood, Community Initiative Specialist
Keep watching the Own Your Now show
on the TV network.
So now it is time for our Own Your Now Cup of Affirmation word of the day. The word for today is legacy. Legacy. I am my legacy. My story is my history. Grab your journals and write down legacy. Because after all, that's what we are doing right here. Yes. We're creating a legacy and we're creating history. We're history in the making. And you know what? The best way to be history in the making is to be what, Justice?
Our best self.
That's right, y'all. So let's get ready for our Own Your Now meditation with our Best Self song of the day. It's Best Self by Lady Bree. Everybody, center yourselves and take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Deep breath in. And let it go. We'll start with our left arm going up slowly. Stretch to the sky if you can.
Indeed. Get some of that sunshine.
Yeah. Bring it down. Let's go with our right arms going up. Stretch to the sky. And hold that arm up and let's bring both arms up together. Put them in the prayer position and bring them down slowly. Yes. And what do, Lady Yo?
Reach out to your strong friends.
Reach out to your strong friends, y'all. Call somebody.
Yes,
make sure they're
indeed.
okay.
Yes.
And
Check
we
on
cannot
people.
forget to do what, Mimi?
Give yourself a hug.
Give yourself a hug. Hug yourself tight.
Only Mimi can say it like that. I tell you, give yourself a hug.
And release. Yes. Feels good.
It feels fantastic. You know, when you
Yes.
just take a minute for yourself, it can change your mindset. It can set you on a more positive trajectory.
Even
Yes.
if your day didn't start off as good,
Yes.
when you take a moment for yourself and you take that breath that you need and stretch your muscles, it really puts you in a good space. And you're like, okay, I can do this. I can take on
Yes.
this.
Remember you're a queen. It makes you remember you're a queen.
That part.
That's me. Yes.
It makes you get ready for what?
She ready.
Our vibrant vibe.
Oh my goodness, yes indeed. Well, you know, first I want to say we are being sponsored by Wall Street. They have everything you need. You better get over there. Now, for our vibrant vibe, we have all the individuals who already have their Christmas tree up.
Oh, way before Thanksgiving?
Yes, oh my goodness. I was
see
on a
some
Zoom
lights.
call and we said, is that a Christmas tree? It was lit, decorated, ribbons, reindeer on the ground. I said, oh, you got started early. She says, I have 6 of them. Shout out to Irma Banks in Texas. She has 6 trees up already.
People are even putting the lights up.
That's how
Gotta
you get in the
when
season.
the weather's good, you got to get the lights up.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Well, you know, I have to tell on myself, I've been privately working on a few miniature trees in my little craft corner at my house that no one goes to but me. So I have to tell them myself. Well, you know, we have a birthday going out to Unity Hicks, one of our owners,
Yes,
and another owner, Deborah Grandison. Happy birthday,
Happy
girls! And get ready for this one, ladies, because all of us, at one point or another, have watched this show. It's National Sesame Street Day.
I'm telling you, Channel 9 was everything for me. I watched it every single day when I would come home from school.
Yes.
Who was your favorite? Mimi, we'll start with you.
Oh my goodness, I can't remember her name.
Is it Pinky?
Panda.
Gabby, Kadabi.
Abby
Kadabi.
There you go. Oh my goodness, we'll help you. Yes, you know it's.
Abby Kadabi was my favorite. You know, she was magical, like this black girl magic we got
That's
going
right.
on. She was a
Okay.
fairy and she was happy, so you know. I
That's
like
it.
her.
That's it. What about you, Justice?
My favorite was Big Bird. I love how gentle he was and how he stood out.
Big Bird.
How I just loved him. Like he stood out, he got attention, and he was gentle with everybody. And I think I embody some of that. I'm very gentle with people.
Yes.
I stand out, so I love.
All right,
Big
girls.
We actually gave Amir, my grandson, a Big Bird, and he carries Big Bird around with him. For me, y'all know, it's Cookie Monster. I love cookies.
Yes,
and
you
Cookie
do.
Monster was everything. You know, Cookie Monster will always have those conversations with the Grouch, and you know, hey, it was all about the cookies for me. What about you, Lady
I'm
O?
an Ernie and Bert girl. I mean, I love the way they had their little conversations, and they had a special relationship. So it was Ernie and Bert for me.
That's right. That's right. Well, you know what? We're all about our special relationships. Look at us. We're the Cup, and we grew up on Sesame Street. Well, you know, speaking of history, we are at the Missouri Historical Society. And I promise you guys, when we get back, you're going to learn a little bit of history. We literally have Emily Underwood coming up and Cecily Hunter. So make sure that you stay tuned because we'll be right back.
Wall Street Company is a family-owned business in the St. Louis Galleria that houses unique brands by women entrepreneurs. From waist beads to stylish handbags, we have special gifts for everyone. Our Boss Day event enables brand owners to showcase their products and connect with customers on a personal level. Stop by today and have an unrivaled shopping experience.
As promised, we are back and we welcome Emily Underwood. She is the Community Initiative Specialist, and Cecily Hunter, Public Historian of the African American Initiative. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us today. Now, Tracy just said all those titles. I'm glad she had to say them. But what I want to know is what's in your cup, Emily?
I'm drinking some STL water today.
Oh,
STL
yes.
water.
STL
You know we love water.
Tell us what you're having, Cecily.
I'm drinking Caldi's House Blend.
Okay.
You know how we feel about our house blend. Well, speaking of house blend, we're in your house. This is Wednesday, Women Empowerment Wednesday, and we're really excited about all of the opportunities that you offer here at the Missouri Historical Society. I always say I want an initiative, but tell us, Emily, talk to us about your title.
Well, it's basically a fancy way of saying I do a lot of community programs and I work with a lot of community organizations. So I'm part of the team that plans out and strategizes how we're going to bring additional content beyond the walls of our exhibits and really engage the community. And we work with tons of organizations to help us do that. So
Wait a minute. I want to know, because she just said a whole word.
Yes, indeed.
How long have you been here?
I'm coming up on 19 years here.
19 years.
She's a pro. She's a
Yes,
pro.
and you're
been a few minutes.
21.
That's right.
Well, Cecily, now you are the public historian. Tell us what you do.
Yes, so I share Black history, the rich history of St. Louis, and making sure that everybody understands it and grows as a community.
Wow. Okay, and you're the baby of the family of the Historical Society. How long have you been here?
So it will be 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
I almost thought it was 5 months. No, you said 5 weeks. Okay,
Right.
thank you so much
Yes.
for coming to us as a newbie.
You know, if you missed us on Monday, you need to go back because Cecily was with us on Monday and she gave us an amazing story on Annie Malone.
Yes.
But today, she's given us another history lesson. Who are we talking about today?
We are talking about the Josephine Baker.
That's how you say it,
The Josephine Baker. Talk to us about her history.
So she was born here in St. Louis to Carrie McDonald and Eddie Carson on June 3rd, 1906. And so she actually became an entertainer right here in St. Louis. So she would perform right in front of Booker T. Washington's Theater near Union Station, and this is located in Mill Creek Valley, on the streets to help supplement her household income.
Wow. So being that she was from St. Louis, she also became an international activist. Talk to us about that.
So she actually participated in the French Resistance. And so what would happen was she would go on these tours and she would perform in front of the generals, the German generals, and she would pass along written notes that were actually made out of invisible ink to the French generals.
Yes.
And that's how she was able to be essentially a spy in the French Resistance.
Now that's something I didn't know.
Yes.
The invisible ink and passing notes. Okay, Miss Josephine Baker. Well, you know, I am Lady Yo, and I love exclusives. So Emily, tell us what's happening in France on November 30th.
Absolutely. So November 30th, Josephine Baker's actually receiving, it's really France's highest posthumous honor. She's being laid to rest at the Pantheon in Paris. I'm sure I'm going to pronounce everything incorrectly in French. But she's going to be laid to rest with the likes of Marie Curie and Voltaire and these sort of French, luminaries. And she's going to be I think it's the 6th woman buried there, the first Black woman and the first entertainer.
Yes.
And so this is a big deal. It's a huge moment. And Alliance Française, that's a local organization dedicated to French culture, they reached out to us and said, we got to do something. Okay. And we said, yes, you're right, we do.
Absolutely.
So we're going to have a fantastic event on November 30th, the same day that they're celebrating her in Paris. And we're going to have some speaking about her life, really focused, as Cecily said, on her activism and her service and that aspect of her, which I think is maybe a little less known, especially here in St. Louis.
It is, yes.
So we're going to focus on that, but we're also going to have a little bit of performance. We have some singing that's going to happen. The person who is doing the presentation, her name is Laika Thomas. She's actually Parisian herself, and she is a jazz singer, so she's going to give us a little taste of some Josephine Baker music as well. And
So
that was an exclusive.
Yeah, that was.
That was an exclusive.
It was.
Okay, so that's happening on November 30th.
November 30th.
Right here in St. Louis.
Right
We get
here.
to celebrate all things Josephine Baker.
that's right,
things.
6:30
All
p.m. I got to say that.
6:30 p.m.
Well, tell us about, I know you have the St. Louis, the sound.
Yeah.
You will actually have an exhibit, a small exhibit that you will be showing her dress and her shoes, her boots. Talk to us about that.
So on November 30th, if you want to come a little early, before 6:30, there's a couple special things you'll get to see. So one is in our St. Louis sound exhibit. We do have a small section about Josephine Baker with one of her garments and some amazing boots that have just bejeweled.
Yes.
She
So
loves
you can
boots.
definitely come and see those. And then just for that week of the program, we're going to actually have an extra special case that's only up for that week. Mary Strauss is a local collector of Josephine Baker items, and she loaned us the items in the St. Louis Sound exhibit, and she's also loaning us some things that will be on display that week. So playbills, posters, a little bit of costume sketches,
That's history.
things like that. So there's some really cool stuff in there that people will be able to see starting that Tuesday, November 30th, through the following Sunday.
And speaking of costume sketches, her costumes were just phenomenal.
They were.
And just they were just unique to who she was. And you know a Josephine Baker a sketch or outfit when you see one.
She was singular in so many ways.
Yes, I like that.
Cecily, when you think about her history, and we're talking about children and what that looked like for us, talk to us about what she did for our communities. our global communities.
Yes. So I didn't also speak about the fact that she was a civil rights advocate. And so she actually came back to St. Louis in 1952 at the Kiel Auditorium. She actually did a speech and a presentation and performed. And she talked about not only her legacy, but the importance of understanding that at that time, the United States was really struggling with racism, right? And so she would talk specifically about it's all about integration and it's all about coming together. And so she actually refused to come to St. Louis and other locations because they refused to integrate. Wow. And she said that she would not do it. And so eventually in 1952, that's when she came to here back home and perform for the first time since, you know, when she was a younger child.
Right.
She came back as an adult and as a woman who had a illustrious career.
What an influence.
Yes.
What an influence.
Global
Yes.
influencer. Global.
Please, Emily, tell everybody what is the website so that they can know exactly what time everything starts.
Yep.
We don't want to miss this.
If our website is mohistory.org, if you go there and click on events, you can find the calendar and you'll get all the information. It is free. It's first come, first serve. So get here a little early. And if you've ever tried to park in Forest Park, you know, you need to allow a little time for that. So give yourself plenty of time to get here and enjoy the display as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we do have two more questions. Well, one question for the both of you.
Yes, we would like to know, first, Emily, can you tell us your affirmation word?
I'm going to use ambition because I'm thinking of Josephine Baker and what kind of ambition it took for her to leave not only her hometown, but the whole country and make a new life for herself and become such a force globally.
Yes.
Force.
Yes.
We like women who are
She's a
forces.
force.
We do.
Used her voice.
Cecily, please tell us your affirmation word.
I would say perseverance in the same vein, because Josephine Baker really, she proceeded and she kept going despite the odds and despite all the things that were stacked up against her. She really was a dynamic woman in so many different ways, not only in St. Louis music history, performance, but just an all-around international figure, and essentially the Beyonce of our era today, right?
Yes.
But even up and beyond, because she was that war hero and she was that woman who was dedicated to civil rights activism.
Well, you know, the thing about it is there's so much, we constantly say so much rich history here in St. Louis. And the women, this is Women Empowerment Wednesday, y'all. The women that start here, they leave and they come back and they constantly leave us better than how we started.
Absolutely.
And so we just want to thank both of you for saying yes to today's interview. Women Empowerment Wednesday, this is what diversity looks like. This is what St. Louis looks like. When we return, get ready for Peace in the Streets with Justice Key.
A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today.
So doing what we have to do is a story that we all know way too well. And it used to be a place where dreams were abandoned and reality dwells, but time has truly changed and our minds are no longer being conditioned. It could be magic in your backyard, you just have to pay attention. And even some of the greats had to restart, but the goal is to do it with your heart and stay focused. I found out that living out your purpose is what leaves your soul rich. So make peace with your soul and make amends. Maybe you want to tap into your Mal Davis, or maybe Miss Josephine Baker who fell in love with the big screen, or for you, maybe it was Maya Angelou who fell in love with poetry. And for me, it was her and Ntozake Shange. I fell in love with their profound stage presence and their wordplay, but whatever your art is that helps you escape, you should grab a piece of history. That could be the key component when it comes to building your own legacy. So free your mind with me and catch a vibe with me. I'm your girl, Justice Key, with Peace in the Street.
Yes, 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 you did it again, Justice Key.
And again, and again, and again.
Yes,
oh, that's when you know you're a professional.
Yes.
We have to ask, what's the name of this piece?
This piece is called Legacy. I think it's important when you're moving in your purpose. Sometimes we don't know that we're in the middle of building our own legacy, and it doesn't have, even if it's small, even if it's in your community or if it's national, global, you are still building a legacy. So it's so important to make sure that you know that about yourself, and that makes me feel good. So legacy.
Yes, it makes me feel good every time I see you standing up and doing your thing, and you know, it fills me up. I actually, literally, my line in the piece that I heard was, I think you said my magic. It was something about, it can be magic in your own backyard.
Yes.
And you really got to find that. Oftentimes we don't seek out the magic in our own communities. Like just being right here at the History Museum, the Historical Society.
Yes.
There's magic in your own backyard. What about you, Mimi?
Mine was, even the greats have to restart, but the goal is to do it with your heart. I mean, that's what stood out for me. 'Cause, you know, if you lead with your heart, you're going to win.
You are going to win. And you do that all the time, Mimi. You know, for me, it was building your legacy. Building your legacy, because, you know, I came from small beginnings, and it's just been building, and I was afforded the opportunity to go to college, then I was afforded the opportunity to come to St. Louis, and I was afforded the opportunity to meet you beautiful ladies. So you are part of my legacy, because each of you brings something to my life.
I love that.
Yes, thank you. And you all bring something to my life as well. Like doing it with your heart. We have some great people that came out of St. Louis, and you heard that in the piece. And I just think it's important for you to know, like, nothing is easy, and sometimes in the middle of it, you just don't see the blessing that's gonna come out of it. So you just have to stick with it and know what you're doing it for. So the whole do it with your heart. Do it with your heart first.
Yes.
Everything else will follow, but do it with your heart first.
Snap it up,
That's
y'all.
it. Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Jesus took us to church. Justice, what is your affirmation word for today?
My affirmation word is grace.
Got that.
Be graceful with yourself. Be graceful towards others. You don't know what people are going through. So
Absolutely.
Give yourself some grace. Mimi.
I'm going to go with that grace and say grow.
All right.
With that grace.
Grow. Grow with it. Grow with it.
Grow with it. Girl, you know mine is celebration, because you know what? We're celebrating all of November. It is Scorpio season.
They just took it.
Yes.
They took it all the way back to Scorpio season. Well, you know what? I think that today's On Your Now Flow is definitely about celebration. You know what? We're going to be celebrating somebody's birthday tomorrow, just so you all know. Our little birdie told me. But just understand that the value of what we have here is all about us bringing history to our community. Ambition is key when you realize that perseverance will push you to where it is that you need to grow. But in the midst of that, realize that give yourself a little grace, celebrate along the way, but also realize you are definitely creating a legacy. So until next time, make sure that you keep your cup full and make sure that you go out and create some vibrant vibes.
And keep sipping peace, love, and positivity.
And remember, tomorrow is not promised. So own your now.